Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the week. We are going to kick it off with a Kaladesh Remastered Best of 3 draft. That's traditional. That is all thanks to chat vote. Zendikar has been creeping up on Kaladesh's heels, but people still seem interested in toying with this format. I've really enjoyed it. I think they have successfully created something that is better than each of the individual formats that existed, which is to say triple Kaladesh and Ether Revolt Kaladesh. I think this is better than those two, and they should be. You got professional game designers taking a pile of cards and getting to eliminate about half of them and craft an entirely new draft format around it. I would hope that it would be better. They get to learn from the lessons of the past, learn what works. I'm curious what impact the energy mechanics are going to have on Historic. I don't know if got big Historic players here, but it's kind of the eternal MTG arena format. So this is a big deal for that. I don't know if anybody plays. Is people playing Historic in paper a thing? Is that I haven't really heard of it. I think Historic only occurs on Arena. But if you were to want to make a Historic deck in paper and bring Historic to the physical tabletop, you know where to do it. My sponsor, cardkingdom.com. They are going to have all sorts of marvelous stuff for you at their website. You can find broken cards from the original sets and make an ether energy monstrosity to destroy your friends and family with across the tabletop that you're going to be engaging in only with people you live with or are masking up with the whole time, right? Of course, because we're keeping each other safe in these troubling, hard times. But if you want to support my stream, make sure to check out Card Kingdom via my affiliate link. You do that in the panels, in the notes there in chat, or in the notes of YouTube. It'll get you there from here, and then any business you do with them is attributed to my stream, and that really helps me stay on the air. So if you're thankful for this stream and thankful for Magic, you're going to be thankful for cardkingdom.com, because if you give them your business, they're going to show you why they earn it. Now, let's see how thankful we are for the density of players in the old best of 3 queue here. And while we're waiting for this to fill up, I'm going to update the numbers. Had a great chat gauntlet on Friday. Started out 3-0, thought I was going to romp, and then barely squeaked out a 4-3 win after nice comebacks from chat. Good games, chat. Up here. And up here. Well, we filled up a few seats right away. Now we're kind of stalling out here, waiting. Actually getting a little hot here. Gonna need chat to jump into this queue. Come draft with me, somebody. Uh-oh, coffee's gone. Better move the mug, or I'll be sipping at it all morning. Here we go. Hey, you know what was this weekend that I totally forgot to kind of celebrate on Friday, but we can celebrate now? Anybody know? I'll give you a hint. It was my son's birthday on Saturday. But that means something else, too. So our rare here is Metallic Mimic, a 2/1. And everything after it gets a +1/+1 counter if it's the type mentioned. I think we can take it and build around that. What do you think? But yes, Razor and Hat have figured it out. It was technically my stream anniversary on Saturday. So 2 years, gang, 2 years. What do we like here, if not the Mimic? One of the reasons I like the Mimic is that it's colorless. It's going to go in any deck. And yeah, ideally you choose Artificers because there's so many of those in the set. but you can choose after the fact, and heck, you can choose as you cast it based on what you have in your hand. I like Monstrous Onslaught a lot. This is great removal in green. I like Unlicensed Disintegration a lot. Great removal, obviously, but it's 2-color. Revoke, also removal. Not as great as these two, but still good. But starting out with a colorless card that has a lot of directions to go seems good. Decoction Module is an interesting second second build around here. Energy build around. This has been kind of slow enough to do. Maybe a Wheel of Gear Seeker, but Fairgrounds Warden is... So this is a very good card. There's no question. It enters the battlefield and exiles a creature. So it's effectively a 2-for-1. And yeah, we are going to take it. It's but I just want to call out that you can get got by this type of removal. When your removal can be removed and reintroduce the creature you removed, just be super careful that you're not falling into a trap when they kill your Fairgrounds Warden at instant speed during combat. So we'll take it, but I want to call out that warning. Daring Demolition here leaps out. There's a tune also. Daredevil Dragster is colorless and could go in any deck, and it's not great, it's not bad, it's interesting. It's kind of a weird vehicle. It's not overpowered. It's fair. It's a fair card. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Demolition premium removal and plant a flag in black and not send it any downstream. This way, we're not sending good black downstream and can potentially cut the color. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, Skiff and Dragster could leave us open. Puzzle Knot works decently with Mimic. If we named servos, right? Can't we do that? Is it non-token? Yeah, so we can name servos and create 2/2 servos. But I'm going to take the Demolition now, and we'll see what happens. I don't think either of the two kind of colorless options was good enough to take over flag plant type pick like Demolition. Infiltrator, if we want to pair the Wardens, we can also just keep drafting the hard way here and pick Outrider. I think this is the best card in the pack here. We could take an Inspired, or we could take Infiltrator and try to go wide. Metallic Mimic, really, if you can be naming servos, is where you want to be. Thank you for that sub. So you could make a play if you think of this as a white card for Mimics. You could move towards Infiltrator into go wide Inspired Charge. Squad is just not good enough. I'm gonna take Outrider and draft the hard way here. I think it's the best card in the pack, and we're only the 4th pick in, so let's just take the best card and see what the table's telling us. I mean, for example, we can just take Voyager here. It matches Pima color-wise, introduces blue, and we don't have it yet, but we are early, and we can go anywhere from here. And I don't see anything. I mean, Renegade Map would help with splashing something, and Construct can go in any deck without shame. It's not good, but it's not bad. You can just run this and know that if you need 2s, right? It just does enough. Just does enough. What might wheel? I don't know what part we're talking about wheeling, but in any case, we'll take the Voyager and see. We're a little bit all over the place, but who knows? Maybe we'll zoom in as we see some future picks here. So like maybe an Armorcraft Judge and the Daring Demolition. Now I'm starting to feel like Splash Blue in green black is a thing that could happen here. Appetite is decent. Implement is decent. Salvager is okay if you're doing exactly that thing. Pioneer, if we stick to the white side of things, because we could end up let's take Judge, and then we'll see whether we're white green, white black, green black. Let's see. Airdrop Aeronaut's still being here. Oh, so same with, should we just add a red card now? For crying out loud, table, what are you doing? This is just kind of a big flyer. I think I like big flyer over add red. This is, you know, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's better or not. You can make your case, but it's certainly, I think, better for us given the Fairgrounds Warden. Hunt the Week still being here is relevant. We're going to take it, and looks like we're starting to lean towards white-green. Blossoming Defense supports that some more. Weldfast is still here. We are best of 3, so Appetite is nice. Put that on the board for now. I suppose there's a world in which we're selecting for inspection, but I probably want a moray in that world even more. Yeah, we could even put Appetite in the main for right now. Inspired Charge was what I was hoping to wheel when I was thinking more go wide servos, which you could still be. You have Outriders and the like. Built to Last is a fine combat trick to pick up, you know, literal 13th pick. Looking like black is not particularly open. I mean, if we got like the black Gear Hulk pack 2 pick 1, I'll take it and bring that demolition back, but I don't think we're black right now. Well, too bad there's a bunch of good red in here. Look at the red in this pack. You've got Virtuoso, which along with blue is one of the best rewards for being high energy in the set. You've got a great uncommon removal spell. You got a great common removal spell. But we're not there, right? So we're going to have to just take the hunt and be happy about it. We're not taking Mechanic, Herald, or Skiff, so Hunt the Week. Yeah, Barricade Breaker. We can take a look at this. It does have Improvise. I'm going to take Hunt, though. Dawn Feather or Druid or Revoke. What do you think, gang? Not a lot going on at 2. This kind of makes me want Druid here. Revoke, maybe the best card in the abstract. We do have 2 Hunt the Weeks, though, and a Fairgrounds Warden. So we do have, and we have some interaction in these 2 combat tricks. I'm going to take Druid because I think it's what our deck needs the most. I may be trying to fill out our needs a little early. Yeah, Rob is saying the Eagle's more important, and I get it. But you know what's this is important than the archetype, Rob. But there's very little more important than having enough 2s in your draft deck. So I like shoring up that, and back-to-back Druids do that. Cardboard Live is open, but if it's not functioning, I don't know why. I could try a restart. I've given it focus. Sometimes that alone makes it work. Let me take another Druid here over the Eager Construct. Here's an Outrider. Demolition's coming by. I like a Mechanic and an Infiltrator too. Again, you know, we do want to keep up on our 2s, but Outrider's fine here. Yeah, we now have 2 Druids to get to 2 Outriders. That's a nice nice curve out. Here, a Botanical Sanctum actually helps us splash a Voyager. Is there anything else pulling us? Schematic is playable if you're going wide with tokens, but you really need a way to sack it. If you're not doing something to destroy this thing, what are you doing? And nothing else really here for us except more combat tricks. So yeah, Sanctum is it. Splash white means we're not playing Aeronauts or Charge, and maybe we're just splashing the Warden, and that's fair. I think you could say we're not married to white yet, but here I am going to take the Revoke over the Mechanic. I do like a Mechanic as well, and we still need more 2s, but now I'm willing to take a Revoke. Maybe you don't consider this premium removal, but this is removal and it's good. Math doesn't like Revoke. I mean, I don't know. The bias that some folks seem to have against removal just because it's enchantment removal is weird. I get it. It's not perfect, but it's like it's good. It's good removal. I don't know. I don't know what to do with you people. We're gonna take that. We can take Spire Bluff, and it really doesn't do what we need, though, does it? Although nothing here does. Implement Ornithopter. Not playing any of this, so I actually will take the Spire Bluff. Maybe there's some world in which we use it, and if not, yeah, gems. Gems works. Well, Whir of Invention, same thing, and this is just gonna be a gem pick. I don't care about either of these in this deck, so more gems. Or even just more collection building. I don't know if we're going to 4x the set and actually generate gems from our rares, but, you know, collection building. Revoke. Well, there you go. Anybody wanted that Revoke first time around, we'll just wheel it. So we're in... white seems open, or maybe everybody else agrees with chat that Revoke is somehow not good. Careful to not say it's great, but I think it's good. Yeah, we can take a leave, refurbish... I should probably have just taken the refurbish. There's some world in which we refurbish a gear Hulk or something, but I'll keep taking... Don't think we're going to splash for bounce, but, you know, can pull it. Boy, more crappy opening packs for us. Our pack 2 and pack 3 pick 1s have been pretty garbagey. We can take it. We could take a Countless Gears, but I think just another Druid. Third Druid really sets us up to explode onto the scene on basically turn 4. Trouble is right now we only have 2 Outriders as cards that we would want to curve into 4 on. Armorcraft Judge is a terrible curve out to 4. You're not going to have any counters on anything. So I'm going to take it, but I don't like this pick or this pack for being a pick 1. Cloud Blazer is a get in our deck. I like the Rhino a lot, of course. But we have a Voyager we're trying to splash. We have a Sanctum to help do it. And the Blazer fits right into that splash plan. So we're going to pick it up over the Rhino. Another Blossoming Defense. It's not really what I want here, but there's nothing else. Artisan, yeah, we could just take Tiger. I guess we don't have a lot of 5s. We'll take the Tiger. I don't love this card, though. It's pretty clunky. Here we go. I do like a Wispweaver Angel, especially with things like Cloud Blazer. Bounce back in Armorcraft Judge to draw extra cards, that kind of thing. This is a great pickup for us. Rogue Refiner works with the splash. We could take the Attune, but and help that splash. More splash ability or the thing that helps the splash? Maybe I should just be a grown-up and take the thing that helps us complete the splash. What do you think? Flip seems to like Attune. I'm going to take Attune. I think Refiner is good, but it's kind of doing a thing that we're already doing in our splash with Cloud Blazer in a way. So I'm gonna stick to that. Wow, this is tough to pass a second Essence Extraction. A lot of black going around here. Well, we can take this too. I don't like Sage that much, but we are starting to do enough in the energy realm to make it worth it. And Creeping Mold is super clunk as far as removal goes, but we could take it, at least for the board. This is best of 3. We can also just take an Infiltrator to make sure that we're staying aggressive. We do have 2 Appetites, so I'm going to take the Infiltrator since we already have this job done. I'd be with you on Mold Rob if we didn't have 2 Appetites. The ability to hit a land is almost meaningless, making these significantly better than Mold, right? Instant speed, 1 mana less, and a single color as opposed to double color, and you get 2 life. Like, it's just, Appetites are so much better. Admiral, I've been pretty disappointed with. It's much worse in my experience than just the 3-2 that can make a 1-1 or a 2-1. But we'll take it because it's a 4. It's at least something we can curve into. You know, we're talking about curving into 4s. Like I could curve into the Crusher. We could take a Countless Gears Renegade though. Yeah, High Spire also reasonable for the board, Haj. I'm going to take the Renegade here, though, over the vehicle. I'd rather just have a regular playable. Yeah, we don't exactly have Revolt enablers, so it's... Oh, man! Well, that's a nice closing gift, huh? Seeing the Thriving Rhino here almost makes me sad because it just means that there wasn't green in these packs. Like, that we did it. Like, we found our lane. We nailed it. We nailed our lane, gang. And there just wasn't anything in it. Look at this. It means we're not going to play this built to last. This Attune comes back. Now I want that... now I want that Refiner. But... we are very settled on our Blue Splash. Our Blue Splash is super, super solid. But yeah, I mean, the Attune coming late and all that late green just suggested that we totally did it. We drafted the hard way successfully. We found the right lane and then just didn't get paid off for it because that's how life goes sometimes. I think we're not going to start 2 of those, for sure not starting 2. Let's take a look at our overall numbers. 18 creatures, 11 non, so we can trim from both sides. Maybe this is not an Inspired Charge deck. We're really just trying to win with value propositions over time. Then we get into... so let's just cut the Admiral. Trouble is, like, again, we have 3... Druids to curve out to 4s. I think we want the Admiral just so we have 3 cards at least that we are pretty eager to curve out to. So I kind of want to keep the Admiral, which then makes me want to like cut the Appetite for the board. It's still main deckable, but it's an easy place to cut when you're looking for cuts. We may be able to cut. Oh, we get to cut some land. These Attunes can count as land. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably right there. 2, 3, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then like 17. I might try to bring an Appetite in back, Rob, but you're gonna have to tell me over what. You can't tell me to bring something back in without telling me what to cut here, because we got tough cuts. And let's separate cut, revoke. I don't know why you guys hate removal. No, I'm not cutting one of our 4 removal spells. Jeez. What's going on in your head that you want to cut one of our 4 removal spells, Rob? What's going on? And not just Rob. I get that this has weaknesses, gang, but how are you suggesting that this is a cut? How would anybody suggest that this is a cut from the deck? Maybe Prism is a cut because we got the 2 Attunes. Revoke is interaction. Removal, to me, if you call Revoke a removal spell, you're saying that it hits creatures. To me, a removal spell is something that cleanly hits many creatures. And Appetite hits some creatures, because there are definitely some artifact creatures going around, but it's not... I wouldn't put it in the same class as clean removal. Yeah, we could cut Countless Gears, because we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, that's fine. Let's cut Countless Gears. That still gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things we're willing to do by 2. I love that. So this could be it. 17-8, reasonable split. It leans heavily on the Attunes. It puts 7, 8, 9, 15 lands, 8 of which are, like, maybe it needs to even be... like this. Then we have 9 ways to attune by turn 2. Obviously, if this is our only green source, it enters tapped, but then we do get to attune on 2. I really don't like Admiral for this, for all the reasons, Flip, that you're talking about. I really don't like this card. I feel like it is a... there are so many 4-drops that I would happily swap out for this, but I think we specifically want 4s for the Druid. And so, oh yeah, sorry, I was thinking it was a check land. So this is like 9 sources of green. Yeah, so we even get this on 1. Never mind. Even better. My point was that we have basically 8.5, but we do have a full 9, so even better. And 9 sources of green gives us 5, 6, 7 sources of white plus 8 on turn 2 with a prism. And really, it's green that we want early most of all. Missing a turn 2 Infiltrator would not be great, but, you know. 1 and 1 for Revoke. No. Nobody's getting a Revoke out of this deck. If you want to convince me to add an Appetite, you can, but not at the cost of a Revoke. I could do it for a Prism, potentially. We can just lean on Attunes and figure we don't actually want to Prism. Prism's not doing anything else for this deck. Sometimes Prism is doing more than just being a draw a card filter. So I think with Sanctum, 2 Attunes, and an Island, I'm feeling good about our blue, and I'm just going to cut the Prism and bring in the Appetite Rob would like to see in this deck. Because I agree, this does a lot. You can absolutely main deck these in the format. And no, I like Sage too. We're doing enough now with the Tiger and the Rhino. I feel like we actually have an outlet for some energy now. Is there anything else we're doing with energy, though? I mean, it is, I agree, it's not amazing because of that. Like, really, yeah, if this deck has a problem, it's that it's got energy creation with no real place to dump it. So you're right that Sage is pretty weak in that regard. Maybe even Countless Gears is better. Although we are pretty low, like, Sage is green. I think I'm going to leave this because Sage is green, and it's pretty underwhelming. It might be our worst card in the deck. I'll give you that. But with our lack of really a sink for our energy, but I'm going to run with this. We're going to call it. What are we calling it? We've got 3 Druid of the Cowls, and we were talking about revoke privileges a lot. About privilege position. Is that spelled right? Let me know if I misspelled privileged. War Furnace would rather have Prism. All right, well, I'm going to start here, War Furnace, and when we draw Appetite, you can pretend it's a Prism, and we'll see who has the better wish. And let's see if there's any other bling. No bling redeemed, so I will choose something today. How about... let's go Lotus. And... we better put revoke in the art. All right. Close enough to a deck here. You tell me how well we're going to do. Medi, I can't tell if you're trolling me or not, because we could talk about the prism, but saying when you marginal playables like revoke, are you just trolling, or are you seriously also in the camp that revoke is a, quote, marginal playable? I'm going to start timing out people. All right, we're missing a mid game here, but we have a turn 1 and a turn 5 I like a lot, so I'm going to keep. Okay. You'd rather have, you're telling me right now, Media, you're like, yeah, give me that prism. I want a prism right now over revoke privileges. I know this is a spot where we've drawn the mana we need, but I'm just flabbergasted at chat today. Congrats, chat. You got me flabbergasted. Because somehow tack an extra mana on a pacifism and it's, quote, bad. Could be our pajaman. Well, might have to use our revoke now because we are not finding any mid-game action. People misinterpret slightly worse than usual as bad. No, Media, a very smart Magic player who I listen to a lot, is saying quite cleanly and quite clearly, I think that it is bad. Not even the slightest bit of... You know, it's not hyperbolic, according, you know, this is just what they're saying. So I'm going to go ahead and revoke privileges on the gear shift ace because we don't have anything else to do. We can't just sit here and do nothing until turn 5 now. But we're coming close to doing nothing until turn 5. Pajaman looks like they are suffering from some flood. This is not what a Boros deck wants to be doing, so they're not having the best draw luck either. Oh my god, Media. If you're gonna name what we did here, this one case, therefore it's bad. You spent one more mana than your opponent. Therefore, that card is bad. Had enough, Media. That's not sensible. Now we would really love to use our Hunt the Week to kill the Fairgrounds Warden and re-trigger our Cloud Blazer. That's my new goal for the game. Here, I think I just like airdrop Aeronauts with the Blossoming Defense up. We don't need to cast this yet. It doesn't add any more power than this. We could try to wait until we revolt something for 5 life, but that's not that important either. So we're just gonna make a 4/3 flyer and hold up some D. Ah, you're right. Revoke Privileges is terrible. I just countered it with a 1 mana spell. That's true. Good call, Rob. We can just self-revolt, right? That's a interesting play. Oh, yeah, we could have just let that happen. Yeah, you're right. I should have just let it revoke, right? Yeah. Good call. Good call. As it is, we do get an attack in. So while I should have just let the enchantment removal happen and then bounced it with Wisp Weave to unlock it, that's what Rob was knowing about. We did get an extra attack with it, so it was not completely worthless. But that's my problem. It's not a told you so. Yes, it has its issues. Yes, you're going to be able to knock it off of some stuff. Yes, sometimes it's just not going to do what you want. Yes, it is not premium removal, but it is the removal that white offers you in this set, and you take it, and you take it happily. That's the thing I don't get. Or at least you take it grudgingly. I'm going to go for the Hawk and just take away their blocking and crack in the air as hard as I can here. Yeah, keep going big in the air. The blue splash is better, like the Cloud Blazer is what's good about our blue splash. The Voyager, since we're not doing too much with energy, is just okay. Let's see. We have to trade off the Admiral for the, well, no, they have to block one of our 4s, so the Admiral's going to get through here. So it looks good for us. I say gonna get through, but we don't know what... There are cards in hand that could have gotten us, but they didn't have them. You can untime out Media. I don't even know. I only know how to time people out. I don't know how to untime them out. But you can untime out Media if you want. And Media, I was an expression of our disagreement, but I have a great deal of respect for you, and I hear what you're saying, that this is bordering on bad. You know, you think it's actually bad. I think it's medium. We're going to agree to disagree on that. What are we doing sideboarding wise? White, red, aggro. We need to be defending early. Like maybe we want to be on the ground a little faster. We saw a couple of first strike 2-drops, so kind of want 3 toughness. We do have good druid. The druids are good for some early defense. Do we want this appetite in or out? Was the appetite... They have revokes of their own, so the appetite can be good for us there. I didn't see... We assume some vehicles, so yeah, one... I don't think I want to bring in a second, but we'll leave the 1 in. Might just be a run-it-back situation for me here, except maybe... Yeah, I mean, I suppose like we're our best of 3. We could pull revoke when it's really in a bad place in the matchup. Yeah, and I just disagree with Rob too. I think I like having the 2-1 split, Rob, but I'm definitely on second revoke over first appetite. But you got a point. You're not being absurd. I'm not saying that. I am going to run this back though. All right, we got our Druid into Pima, which was one of the things we were targeting with this build. Of course, we need 1 more land, but we got a few draws to get it. Three chances it'll land here. There's a land that we needed, and now if the Druid lives, we get a turn 3 Pima Outrider, which is real nice. I think we go wide. We're not playing pump. Although, actually, now I guess we don't. We're going to go tall because of Sweatworks Brawler, which equipped... Eventually, we make this a 4-4, and then next turn we can make it a 5-5 and hunt the Brawler. So we're going to do that. And hope that our 4-4 lives. The worst case scenario for us right now is that Pajaman has Chandra's Revolution, kills the Outrider, takes away our Hunt the Weak option, and just continues to beat us down with a 4-5. So it comes down to this. Does the Outrider live, or are we getting... Yeah, Warden. Okay. That is something I can potentially work with here. We have Druid, so we can go attune, find an island. We could also Fairgrounds Warden the... we could just Fairgrounds Warden the Fairgrounds Warden. I was going to try and do it and kill it to get it back. But we do have... Well, I'm going to start with the attune to get our island anyway. I know I want to do that. And now... exactly, like Mimic can hunt the Warden, which is why I was thinking of doing it Mimic plus Sage, and we can do Mimic naming Elf or Druid, or naming Druid. There are a couple more Druids that we could get that way. I'm gonna two spell it here. Yeah, we'll name Elf. I don't know if we have other elves, but that's fine. Now we even threaten a double block on the Brawler. They probably still send, but interesting to have the double block available. Uh-huh. Kind of like blocking with Sage here. Obviously, it's a trick, but I'm perfectly happy to trade Sage for a trick to get it out of their hands to make sure that the stuff we have left works. So I'm fine with this. Whatever they want to spend to not lose their Warden to the Sage is fine with me. Great. Love it. Now this is where this enters tapped. I had my dual lands mixed up and was thinking this entered tapped early, but it enters tapped now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 6. Can't two spell anyway. Nothing to two spell. So we Sanctum, we Hunt the Weak, the Warden, or we just Fairgrounds Warden the Brawler here. Kind of like Fairgrounds Warden the Brawler. Although then maybe they move the goggles over and this becomes less huntable. So actually I think I'll Hunt the Weak now and then Fairgrounds Warden next turn. It also sets us up for a possible two-spell turn where we hunt and Fairgrounds next turn. So I've talked myself into this play. I can leave the Druid back because it does threaten a double block here. They're showing pause. What does that mean? Pause on 1. +1, +0, and first strike. Smash. Uh-oh. Well, maybe we're getting smashed now. It's got to be one of those two, but we don't have a choice because if we just take it, we die. What we could do if we expected that it smash is chump. That's 3. Yeah, I think we got to do this and then try and use Hunt and Fairgrounds Warden next turn to get out of it. If we double block the 4/4, they kill our Outrider, which is our plan to hunt next turn, although... So we go, because Smash is +3/+3, right? Yeah, but I want to use both. If we draw a land, we can just, well, I guess we can't necessarily guarantee both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only if we draw a land and keep the Druid alive can we do both next turn anyway. So so I guess we have to, but in that case, If it's 3, I guess it doesn't kill the druid, so we can double block. It's just going to kill the outrider, though, is the problem. But I suppose we don't have a choice. So let's do this. And then if they save the giant, but we have the druid left. And then the druid and the mimic can double block the giant while the warden takes care of the brawler. Trouble is they can move the goggles. So maybe we do just need to hunt the weak and chump. Wait, we can go, yeah, can't, found land, we could have managed it. So now what do we do? They're out of cards. They're at 6, or we're at 6. We can just actually play the outrider and threaten to block it. Yeah, it has trample, but if we double block it, it doesn't trample for anything. They get 4. We can make the servo. What does that do for us? It gives us a double block on the menace. Gives us a worse fight, though. I think we start here. And then question is whether we... I think we have to go big because we threaten to eat this way. And we can take the 4 and then hunt it next turn or whatever. I'm going to say no attacks and then see if we can stabilize here. If they draw a land, we have a chance. If they draw any action, it's going to be tough. Okay, well, I'm going to hope this means that this is a blank, and we're just going to go for it, and we're going to try hunting and wardening here. Cross fingers. Now they're continuing to show pauses, which gives me some pause. Again, I called out the danger of the Fairgrounds Warden as removal, because if they remove the Warden, this pops back into place and could trade for either of these, but we're going to risk it. Got to go for a win. Just calling out the risk, though. And we're up against potential haste with the goggles. You know, there's a lot of ways we could still lose this, but I got to put pedal to the metal and do what we can here. With them at 8, we attack with 6, then 6 plus any 2 is lethal, which means that they basically have to block the 6/6, right? Is that a forced block? Because they block anything else and it's just lethal. So I am going to attack with everything and presume they are forced to block 3, 4, 5, and then see if I'm wrong about that. Yikes! But I think this is good. All right, math is in my favor so far. There is a fumigate spell in the format. I am going to save the infiltrator in hand. It's not going to change the lethalness of our next attack. If Pajaman goes fumigate, we'll be happy to have kept infiltrator. But looks like we got it. Thank you. Good game. Well played. Both sides. Could have wardened the larger thing and fought the smaller thing. I guess my feeling was that a success, that if they had anything, we were going to lose. So I needed it to work or we were going to lose. And if it was going to work, it felt better to put into the graveyard the biggest threat and put under the warden the lesser threat. Because then if they kill the warden to return the threat, they've returned the lesser one. Good games, Pajaman. All right, I'm going to run it back. Pretty reactive hand, but I am going to keep. We do have a need for double white, but I'm going to fetch our splash first. Presume we'll find a second white source somewhere down the line. Hey, look, Appetite's removal for this Cobra. There's our second white. So now a question is, do we bother wardening a Cobra? We don't have anything to do next turn. We could also just use Appetite while it's got something, right? It's gonna, you know, this is an instant. We could just pass and kill the Cobra if nothing else. So I tend to want to use my mana early, but I'm not willing to Fairgrounds Warden that. Let's pass it here and decide if we want to Appetite the Cobra. And Fairgrounds with a Blossoming Defense is nice, because then they can't get you with the kill the Fairgrounds move if you have the Blossoming available. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Not the best value of all time here, but... And they're not putting any more pressure on, so that's good. Although, you know, we got to be careful. We don't want to just get into some long game where we are not advantaged against them. Judge for no value or wait. We don't really have counters coming anytime soon. I'm going to go Judge no value. I know Hill Giant's not super sexy here, but we can also blink it later with the Angel. Maybe we'll get some counters on some stuff. We'll draw our Angel and blink it for some value, but I'm not going to not play a 4-drop here just because it doesn't give us the rules text we'd like. Hey, Oil Can, welcome. Going pretty good. Been getting into it with some of our friends in chat over the exact quality level of enchantment-based removal in this format. Whether it's outright bad or just okay. Nobody's saying it's amazing. That's kind of been the topic of the day. I'm going to do it. Another no value aeronauts here, but... Oil Can's asking on the family, various medical issues going on in this house. But my son came back negative for COVID. He is on a the fast food joint he works at had a COVID test. An employee test positive for COVID, so they're shut down for 2 weeks. Everybody in the place has been tested. Nobody else is positive that I've heard about. I don't think anybody else is positive, including my son. But to the credit of. Oh wow! Well, I was pushing it and not doing the not leaving the Blossoming Defense open, and it came to hurt us there. But darn it! And then my wife is having some medical issues that are a little harder to suss. We're still figuring that stuff out. Well, I have another chance to run out a big creature on curve, tapping us out of Blossoming Defense. I still kind of want to do it. I mean, what's our alternative? We could play Fairgrounds Warden on a Rebel, whatever. That's just all whatever. I'm going to play the Angel and make him have something. I mean, they got a lot of cards. I don't have a ton of hope. I guess we could wait one more turn. And then if they have removal, we would have the defense for it. Maybe that is correct. Or we could even send in the Judge here and potentially Blossoming Defense to save the Judge if they block with the Rebel. I do like being aggressive. I'm going to attack and I'll decide trade or save. I'm going to go trade here. And I am going to hold the Angel. I feel like they've drawn a bunch of cards. They're in black. They probably have removal. Real problem is that they're probably going to have two pieces of removal, one for the defense and then one for the Angel. Yeah, we can play the Warden and reset it. That's true. That's a good point, Rob. If we assume they play... In fact, yeah, I'll do that, Rob. Rob is saying, go ahead and play the Warden. If we don't... You know, Druid's not great, but we can reset it with the Angel, and that's true. So we'll do that. Yeah, War Furnace and Rob are on this plan, given what I was just saying. And I like it, because what this might do is encourage them. Aha, they've played their Fairgrounds Warden for low value. Let us play our big 6-mana green thing, right? And then we untap, Whisper Weave, lock down the big thing, and have the defense up. Or they just keep playing Prophetic Prisms, and we attack 13 times with a Fairgrounds Warden. Never mind. We'd rather have them Cobra or 1/3. I guess we'd rather have them, let them have a 1/3. They've got plenty of mana. It's probably 7 versus 6 or 7 versus 7 or 8 is probably not a big difference. So let's do this. Cardboard Live. Oh, it keeps being weird, but I clicked it again. Now maybe it'll work. I gave it priority and it did a weird blip, which usually means that it'll suddenly work. Interesting that they're going for the... Oh, yeah, I guess they just don't have the... Okay, like... Yeah, okay. I don't care about the snake that much. We want to protect the Angel. We got a 20-3 lead. Let's see if we can just keep them off of removal for Angel. That's plan A. Yeah, we'll just have to defend here. Snakes! Snakes! Snakes on a plane. I mean, the plane is Kaladesh, but it's snakes on a plane. It's got trample, so we'll go ahead and crash for 6. I think them attacking with snake seems... Well, I don't know. Maybe they're like... Maybe they got another plan. It's just that... Yeah, I suppose Druid plus Cobra prevents enough trample and still kills the Tiger. So I like the attacks from Oppo. We also don't know what else they might have. But I will go ahead and trade. So we attack. I do want to... Even 1 point is good because then it turns Angel lethal next turn. Yeah, a buddy of mine liked to call this format the doing your taxes format. That's what it felt like to him. Maybe not remastered per se, but now let's see if they got anything to prevent the damage from the Tiger. The 1 damage from the Tiger getting through turns Angel into a lethal threat next turn, so... I like it better than both of the original sets, Electro Brains, but also it's been a long time, so it's hard for me to compare directly because it's just my memories of the set, not my fresh experiences with it. All right. Well, they have kept it from being lethal next turn, so that's fair. Give them an extra draw. Oppo doing what they have to do, including effectively 3-for-1ing themselves, but to give them an extra draw to answer the real threat, which is this Angel. So I like how Oppo is playing this, but it also is good for us because it suggests that they are way up against it and don't have the answer for the Angel, that they're bending over that far to give themselves an extra turn. Yeah, we did win. We were up 1, right? So we're 1-0. Thanks for the reminder. Update that record. We're not finding any additional action, so we are very much live or die on this Angel, but right now it's working. All right, hopefully draw scoop incoming. Draw? Would you like to scoop? Yes! All right. Woo! Dodged it. We faded their outs, as we say in the poker world. Not that this is poker, but you know. So, a lot of artifacts over here. 1 revoke privileges. I mean, the revoke... I don't know if Cobras are enough to bring in another Appetite. Rob wants to bring in the Appetite, but Rob, are we really happy to... Like, what for what, first of all? For what? And are we sure that destroying Cobras with an Appetite is better than the for what? Or destroying a Prism? Like, I don't think we want to worry about... We're not going to kill Prisms. I don't want to spend 3 mana to destroy Cobras when we're trying to win in the air anyway. The Cobras don't really help them stop us in our air game. So I'm really... Besides the revoke, I'm not seeing what I really am excited to be disenchanting. Yeah, well, Metallic. I like Metallic Mimic. It's the upside is great. I mean, it's floor, and as a colorless card, truly its floor is that if you have 2 mana, you have a 2/1. That's a fine floor. Fine floor. It's not fine, but it's a fine floor. And then the ceiling above it is so high that it's great. It was a nice first pick. So I'm on do not add a second Appetite yet. I don't think I've seen the quality of targets that makes me want to bring in a second. But I'm not gonna cut for I'm not gonna cut one, but I'm not gonna bring in for what I've seen there. I'm gonna run it back, see what happens. Possibly if this goes to game 3, we decide that we've seen enough for another Appetite, but what I saw there was quantity, not quality. I'm going to keep this. Dream Draw would be one of our 3 druids. Yeah, I don't want to go any lower on land. We're at 15 lands with 3 druids and 2 attunes. And while you can call the attunes straight up lands, they do cost mana to... It's like lands that come into play tapped. I don't know. maybe we're playing too much land, but I am... Overall, I'm liking it. So we have a lot of elves, right? Like, all of our druids are elves, and then we have some extra elves. So I think we want to go elves. Ooh, and a judge is also an elf. So that means you'll see itself, right? Because it'll enter with... Yeah, that's cool. We don't want this to die. Just need an extra land. Don't know if I want to use Revoke on a Cobra yet. Although we don't want it to block this big stuff coming. So I'm going to go ahead and revoke the Cobra. It's not super exciting, but if this goes right and we draw land, our next several turns are spoken for anyway, like Outrider and Judge. So I'm going to revoke just because of the plans we have coming up here. Really want to land here. Land us. Land, land, land. That revoke can be an appetite. What's your conclusion, though, Rob? Are we wish it was? Why do we wish it was? Or are you just saying, calling it out to think about it? Well, we missed on our fourth land, which is really unfortunate, because this hand starts to unload at 4, but all right. Yeah, getting the Armorcraft Judge value isn't a matter of trigger stacking because it enters with it. In order for even the draw to trigger, the Judge will have to have the +1 there already. We're going to go with Pima Outrider, though. Pima Outrider with a counter, and then Armorcraft Judge next turn. It gets a counter and we draw 2. That's the plan anyway. Now, we don't want to revoke. I want to set up for a nice Armorcraft. Ooh, maybe I don't even know. I can go. I can go wide here. We still block everything, and we still get the +1/+1 counter because of our rare. So I'm going to go wide. Don't kill my Outrider. I want to draw a card off it. Don't even look at it. Don't even look at it, Oppo. No! Ah. Well, I still think I want to go Tiger here over Judge. We draw a card off the Judge, but this maxes our mana. Let's max mana. Well, if we get our Angel, we have a good use for our Angel. Unlock our Tiger. Now with Armorcraft Judge, well, we can just go Admiral. How about we throw out the vulnerable 1 toughness flyer, but that has Blossoming Defense ready, and they showed some weakness to the air, right? Yeah, the revoke that we saw in game 1 was the one thing that I wanted appetite for, and we kept the appetite in. What we didn't do is add a second, and I'm still feeling like adding a second is debatable. The new addition is a pillar bug. We know that these are targetable too. So I think even with just this one, it's probably worthwhile. But I'm just thinking through my where I'm at for possible game 3s on a second appetite. Interesting choice there. I don't know why they're doing that, but so far, though, the only thing that I'm like fist pumping to appetite is this revoke. Everything else is like, yeah, even or trading down. Aha. Salvager makes a lot of sense. A lot of spare parts around here. Probably gonna eat most of what we're seeing, but we can revoke the Salvager next. Also doesn't really, again, we're putting a clock on him in the air that was successful in the first game. Ah, okay, hunt the weak is nice. We can hunt and put a counter on something. Trouble is, like, we can't really hunt anything and have it survive the hunt unless we do the tiger. And that doesn't seem fair. Well, Rob, here. Look, Rob. Here you go. Rob wants a timeout. I'm happy to oblige. There you go, Rob. You're cool now. So yeah, funny, we got this hunt, but we're not really ready for the hunt. Although we could hunt... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to attack with the Admiral. I'm going to revoke the Salvager. Although maybe we let him eat a whole bunch and attack with it first. Yeah, maybe even do that. So, gosh, what do we do? What am I even doing here? I can hunt the weak on the tiger just to do it. Help me out. What would you do here? How are we using our resources? I don't like doing nothing. I don't love the judge. You go ahead and do it. You just do it for 1. I'm just being greedy and I want to get 2. But maybe I'm being greedy. All right, fine. I'm being greedy. I'll take the 1. Good point, gang. I'm being too greedy. Although, I still believe this.
Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed is good.
But this is what I wanted to see. Yeah, let's let him use the Salvager a bunch to presumably like get rid of prisms now, make a big Salvager, and then we can revoke it. Or even Fairgrounds Warden it, and then if they kill it, at least it comes back without counters. Mm-hmm. You can use the defense here. We have Revoke and Infiltrator. We have Revoker, Fairgrounds, and Infiltrator. Should probably just Fairgrounds plus Infiltrate. And I do like Fairgroundsing the Salvager so that if it comes back, they get us. They lose the counter. And I don't know if we're not attacking with anything else. I should attack first with the Admiral, because nothing else is attacking. I'm not going to attack with the Judge here. And then... go like this. They're also doing a significant... they're doing some revolt stuff, and taking the Salvager off the board takes away their easy revolt enabler. So maybe they don't get a Vengeful Rebel trigger or whatever by getting that Salvager off of the board. Hunt the week looking good with the Armorcraft Judge out, although with the ability to flicker the Judge, ideally we would hunt something else to put a counter on multiple things ahead of a possible Angel. But also I'm planning for a game, I'm planning down the road for a game I hope doesn't have down the road. I'm hoping to win sooner. But there you go. Our clean win has been stripped. But now we have the mana for a Cloud Blazer next turn, so that's cool. And in the meantime, we could hunt. I could see hunting the bug, and then we can hunt the bug with the Judge. Then we have a 5/5 next turn against this, and we can actually attack with it. We could also just revoke. If we revoke now and are okay with trading Vengeful Rebel, we can do that too. It's fight, not punch. So if you want to hunt the bug with the Judge, yeah, sure. Send in. I mixed up with. I like Haj's line. That's good. I definitely wanted to take out the bug, and I was deciding revoke or hunt. But I do like that the hunt does set us up for better attacks with the Judge next turn, and the Infiltrator can ask a tough question for them right now. Do you want to trade something? Because, yeah, we'll trade the Cowl for this. Audaciously offer this trade. Interesting that they went for the Vengeful Rebel. That suggests to me that they've got graveyard shenanigans, that they can bring this back. Because I can't imagine that they felt that what they really needed was 8 mana.
I will aid you. Behold nature's true power.
Aha. So, until your next turn. So it doesn't stay a 5/5 elemental. We could use Revoke to get it out of the way. They don't have the ability to... Oh, they do have the ability to Death Touch Cobra. I don't know if Nissa's got unique lines or whatever. I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing here, though. We can go Revoke plus Voyager this turn. And if we revoke the Forest, it lets us kind of crash in with basically everything. We lose Armorcraft Judge to the Cobra, but then everything else would get in. Yeah, the enchantment falls off. This is about whether or not we want to use removal to get at Nissa right now, or whether we want to just play out flyers and try to get at Nissa that way. Yeah, so this blocks here, this would block here, this would block here, and then Warden and the 1/1 would get in to drop Nissa a little bit. Maybe that's not worth it. But I do want to, I'm out of Hourglasses, gang. Yeah, we could revoke the Snake was an option. They do a similar thing. Basically, the Armorcraft Judge trades with whatever we don't revoke. But I do want to get Nissa below 6. I don't think we win a game in which Oppo untaps and ultimates Nissa. And you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. It's not great. It's not great, Pajaman. I just don't think that we can beat a Nissa Ultimate. This is me saying can't beat Nissa Ultimate, throwing away resources to prevent it from happening. The good thing is that the Mimic isn't as valuable as it looks. We've gotten, I mean, if we draw Elves, we'll wish that we had had it or whatever, but I think keeping that Nissa ultimate off the table and putting down a flyer that can keep her in check is important for this game. Because they only have one other card. If we keep Nissa in check, and with the Cloud Blazer on the horizon, we probably win this. But I think we probably lose if every draw is either action or a card draw. You can get a permanent back, but right now, no amazing permanents. The Vengeful Rebel is pretty good, I guess. We're just going to say no blocks on this. Hey, Fiddles, how you been? It's Fiddles, everybody. Let's start with a Blaze and see what comes of it. Bunch of mana dorks and no mana. How important? If we throw away... Yeah, I'm going to throw away a token because it keeps Nissa below -3 even. And a block from the Cowl doesn't actually kill the Fairgrounds Warden. So giving up a servo to keep Nissa below the minus ability. No land is unfortunate. Been nice to find a land to drop one of these to keep the pressure up. I just go with the defaults, man. Oh, wow. They had that was a top-decked answer to that attack, but we still look in decent shape here. They got our... they had something, but both of our flyers are still around, and we can chump on the ground. Nissa still can't minus here. Nissa ought to be dead next turn unless they found more removal. It's possible. But if they didn't find more removal, Nissa's dead. Heck, they need two... Somehow, yeah.
Harness the elements.
And then we're going to take a big smack here, no doubt. But we can kill Nissa and then start chumping forever. And we have actual draws. We might actually find draws that are useful to us winning a target game. We're going to take all this, though. Not so helpful deck. I like leaving back the Voyager, sending Blazer and Servo at Nissa to kill her. 2/3 can threaten to block this 2/4, and then we have chumps for... well, we won't see any more 5/5s because this doesn't stay around, and Nissa will be gone. And then we just have a 3/3 to chump our way. In fact, maybe I just... yeah, I think I'll hold back the Voyager to block the Druid. Although, no, we have Druids that block the Druid. Never mind. We're going to attack with the Voyager as well. We're just going to send 3 at Nissa, 2 at face, and then we'll send that, and then drop our hand here. Yeah, if they make the Salvager huge, then we have to we're gonna have to chump, but we can do that. We can win a chump. 4 in the air to infinite chumps on the ground is gonna be enough for us. I heard Cardboard Live is working, but it seems to be persnickety and works for some people better than others. I don't know. Yeah, we don't have any energy dumps. We have Thriving Rhino and Tiger. These are like our only energy dumps. It's pretty sad because we do have some, playing this mostly to have some 2/3 flyer in the air. I think I would unlock the tiger if we found the angel. Give me a tiger that can win us the game over more cards. Cloud Blazer is the second choice, but we are not go wide yet. Not worth sending everything to get 2 more points of damage in. But maybe next turn with the Rhino it will be. But yeah, we have an embarrassing amount of energy production in this deck, given how little energy we have how little places there are for us to spend it. Still some mystery, like somebody else asked about my wife as well, Jinx, and I kind of got a little sidetracked in explaining it. Let me get this attack in. Do we send the Rhino? It's a 3/4. If they block, we take out the Salvager, or they have a trick. I'm kind of in attack all at this point. What's the danger? If we send in everything, they go to 4. They have to do some blocking. But maybe we don't bother sending the rest. We'll send the Rhino, but not the rest. I don't think the rest is doing anything here to attack with, so we'll just do this. Not quite wide enough to justify risking everything, whereas I will trade a Rhino for a Salvager. Anyway, so the story of my wife's health is that she had everything was pointing towards appendicitis, but when she went in to get it checked out, there was too much infection in the area. They couldn't even really see what was going on. So the presumption was that she had already ruptured her appendix, but that they should not take it out because A, they weren't exactly sure what was going on, and B, it's safer to wait until you've given some antibiotics to remove the infection, remove the gross infection-y stuff, so that the future appendectomy is safer and easier. Well, now it's a question mark whether she even had a ruptured appendix. It almost seems like what happened now is that she had appendicitis pre-rupture, and then the antibiotic course that she went on actually solved the appendicitis, which is something which is a new thing these days. A lot of people were surprised to find that she was diagnosed with appendicitis at all and didn't have it immediately removed, and that's because these days an antibiotics course can clear up the problem that's creating the appendicitis and actually relieve the appendicitis, and you can actually heal the appendicitis and heal it kind of forever with antibiotics instead of surgery. So we are currently at that point where we feel that we still have some more tests to do and more things to figure out, but the most likely thing that has occurred at this point is non-ruptured appendicitis that was addressed successfully via antibiotics, but that's not sure. That's just current state, and we're waiting for more results and everything. And while I was talking, we won. Hey, we won. Got 1,000 guaranteed. Let's see if we can get 3,000 gems. Yeah, well, Eagle, if we attack with a Rhino and they let it bounce, that's still good for us, because then we get to attack again next turn and put another counter on it. Frizzy Fry Fro is our oppo. Let's see how this goes. We did not win the roll. A little stretchy here. Well, boy, we got some ramp. Are we keeping this? I guess we keep, but it's not. This is too many druids. I mean, you run 3 druids so that you're sure to get one early, but not so that you get all 3 early. I'm still keeping. We'll see how it goes. Well, if we can find some blue, we'll have something to do with all this mana. Be funny if we don't find a third mana. I really do want a third land so that we can double Druid next turn. Right now, we don't even get to do that. Maybe they go Pima Outrider and we just end up revoking privileges. No, that's all right. Wide or tall, Oppo? Wide. Makes sense with the white. Probably means something along those lines. All right, well, at the very least, these 3 elves still in hand will all be bigger, thanks to this metallic mimic. I want to land, and I want them to not have off-board removal for the Mimic. Revoke privileges would be okay, because Mimic would still do its thing. One of the reasons that the detractors of Revoke are saying it's not that great. But, doesn't matter, just dead. Very funny deck, very funny. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, 3 druids in the opening hand with 2 basics. Ha ha ha, still mana screwed somehow. Ha 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 ha. Well, we can cast this now. We can also 2-spell elsewhere. I suppose I should just 2-spell and get more mana, since we can't seem to find mana of our own. Yeah, sure, we can also still threaten the Inspector, so I'll do this. They got our Mimic, though. These were supposed to be a 3-2 and a 2-4. I will, of course, snap off any of this for the Inspector. So we're going to try and trade 1 for 1 for the Inspector. I mean, I guess they could have some sort of pump that turns it into a 2 for 1, but I don't really care much about either of these creatures right now, so I will trade 2 for 1 for something. And if it's just, yeah, great. 1 for 1, even better. I mean, Sage trading with something, love it. So funny. Our deck is so funny. It's being funny. Isn't it funny how our deck is funny? Funny, funny deck. Outrider. I'm going to go tall here so it can single block the Judge. And also, if we find a Judge of our own, we would get a card off it, so that's nice. Boy, if you make part of that glut of lands an island, I'm in. Glut me with land, and I'll play Cloud Blazer and... This card is largely terrible, because it's a sorcery. But it's putting a lot of damage on the table here. I don't know. I don't feel that scared. If we just do this, we get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And when we go to 4... but we eat one of their threats and then they're basically out of cards, we come up with something else and we have great ground defense. So I like this and go to 4. Or we could go possibly put it on like the Druid and try and trade Druid for Druid. But really, the Druid doesn't matter anyway, so just preventing damage is all I'm about here. And it's 3 across the board unless we want to trade for the Judge, which I don't. So this is the block. Funny, funny, funny. I guess we revoke the judge and look to block the rest. Remember that opener we kept with 2 lands and how it was going to be a bit floody, but we're going to keep anyway? Yeah. Hey, there's our island. At least I got that request. Do we have time to Cloud Blaze? If we Cloud Blaze, we only have 3 blockers, but we get an extra couple life. I think we need to just play the Voyager and stay on D. Yeah, Blazer gives us 2 lives, but it forces us to tap down 2 blockers. So I'm going to just play Voyager and pass here. Yeah, we get to hold up the Appetite. That's a great call. We don't want to use it on anything we see right now, but it's possible they do something here that warrants an Appetite. Obviously, we're not going to use it to take out a servo, though. But maybe they come up with their own Revoke, and we show one of the reasons that the detractors don't like enchantment removal, that you can use Appetite to get rid of it at instant speed. Interesting. I don't know exactly what this seems like a revolt thing. What could they might make a 6/6 out of this, but we have a revoke privilege. Yeah, I mean, we can triple block with druids, that's true. Like, we have the Appetite, so if they do anything to this, the only question is, do we want to let it through to avoid revoke, to avoid revolt? But if we don't block it to avoid revolt, we may just lose the game to their pump. So we can block with everything. If they do anything to to kill this, we're just going to Appetite anyway. So I say do it. Although, I guess if they have something... Yeah, so here's what I thought. The 6/6. But we have a revoke for that. And I like to do that. I'm going to do that before we Cloud Blaze. Let's just get this thing revoked. And... do we have the stability now to play the Admiral? We could tap out to play Admiral and then have 4/4, 2/3, and 3/1. I think that's worth it. Jinx says swing in air. I like not swing in air, but I do like creating the Admiral to start. So we could send this, but then they actually have, if they kill this, they have really good attacks. So we're going to say no attacks. Oh yeah, they have reach too. Good call. So we weren't getting through there. So really, if we have a good opportunity to trade Admiral for something, we will. Dun dun dun. Score 1. What? Interesting. I would have gotten back my cavalry, but I guess they just want to draw extra couple cards. One further comment about the trials and tribulations of enchantment removal in this set. It's much better if you're aggro, because the longer you're using enchantment removal to take out something on the battlefield, the longer they have to find a universal solvent, find aviary mechanic, right? So, yeah, we're going to eat the solvent before they untap and punish us with using this as removal. But I just want to call out where we've had a lot of debate about revoke today, but I want to keep calling out where it's good and where it's bad, so you can make your own adjustments and and understand where it's going to be best for you and where it's not. Rob, if you said that, congratulations. I don't catch every darn thing people say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could even Cloud Blazer now, keep everything up, and have the Appetite. I'm gonna... Do we want to do that? It just taps down our druids and stuff. I'm gonna do it. Blazer first, see what's up. And then Appetite now. Yeah, we can't respond to the trigger. We definitely had to Appetite. The question is whether we wanted to Cloud Blaze, and if so, first or last. If we're gonna do it, then it doesn't. Then I'd rather just do it first. Might as well see more cards. Well, this is the flood we were anticipating. When you are mana screwed all game, tends to be when you unlock, it really opens the literal floodgates. But we'll say with the reach we're up against, we got to say no attacks. I also got to watch my clock here. I'm going to play a little faster. I don't want to end up in a spot where we don't have the time to win in a game 3. Although that's looking less likely here. But we're going to go... Oh! What? That was just a misclick. I was trying to pass to blockers, but apparently we were already there. Sorry about that. I kind of don't worry too much about misclick mistakes because it's not making me a better or worse Magic player. It's just UI life happening. We were tough with the Outrider being stopped there too. We were in a tough spot. But what I would have done is go Admiral, Druid on Armorcraft Judge, probably Blazer for something else we could trade 1 for, and then and then like Druid on here. Maybe we would need to take out the Artisan though. We really did have a chance. It's too bad that happened because we had blocks to survive and untap. Oh well. Do we want another Appetite? We saw Revoke number 1. What else we see? Solvent. That's all we saw. I think I'm still on just 1, not 2, but I'm not going to take out the Appetite we have. Solvent and Revoke were all we saw for Appetite, so I don't want to bring in more, which I think means we're just running it back. We could do Blossoming Defense if we thought they were showing a bunch of stuff we wanted, a couple of hunts here. So maybe we could get more defensive against their aggro. Maybe we even cut the Appetite for that. It's our least good card. Could be this Admiral. I think I'm cutting the Admiral. I've only kept it in because of a conceit to the 4-drop slot. But Admiral just isn't very good for us, especially if they're going to be playing reach creatures. So I'm going to say done. Do that. I misclicked, and we had a chance to make blocks to live for to keep fighting, and then I just said, here, we'll instead take all of the damage and lose. We were disadvantaged in the matchup, but we certainly weren't dead, so kind of gave us a chance, gave up on our chance to come back. This is a nice keep, though. We have a tune, obviously, on 1 for our blue. We have Infiltrator on 2. We can start defending stuff with defense, and we get to 5, and we get to Cloud Blaze. Ideally now we find a 2-drop or a 3-drop to run out on 3. That qualifies as something to do at least. I'm going to send in, and I'll just trade straight for the Druid if they want to take the offer, but they don't. You're too late, D. I don't even know what that's about, but I'm timing you out immediately for punting me. Unless you can... I'll untime you out if you can say how I've punted in this game right here. Well, we got double defense. And not much to do with it. If we sent the infiltrator, obviously they would block. The trouble is we don't want to trade. I mean, we could give up a blossoming defense for the claim. Is that worth it, though? No, how about this? I'll untime him out if anybody can point to a mistake I've made in this game. But the point is we haven't. So go away, D, with your late punts. Anyway, back to the question of whether we're willing to use a blossoming defense to kill a sage. It does keep us attacking, though, Jinx, which I like. But they have a bunch of other 1 power to kill this. So yeah, let's just not attack. If anything, trade for their sage. Might have to if they swing now. They're showing a lot of pressure, and we don't have a lot of defense yet. Cloud Blazer will be nice and hopefully help us find it, but it's not obvious that... Alright, they're going to make it fly anyway, so we are not given the choice. Druid, you are so frickin' late. Oh, my man. Late Druid. We could play the Druid and then have Blossoming Defense to potentially take out a Tiger. It's still going to be a 2-for-1, though. I don't want to do that. We're going to Cloud Blaze and look for... Nah, I'm going to Cloud Blaze and look for real removal answers to the Tiger. Like, privileges. Well, it's as real as we can get. They are offering for the Sage at this point, and, you know, we are not guaranteed that this Revoke does the job we want it to for the long game, so I am going to take this trade here. And there you go. I mean... We're now on, we gotta, revoke the cavalry. Play Druid. Although I let auto tap get me. Why would you revoke for 2 forests, you stupid auto tap? I don't have a blue card in my hand. Oh my god. How bad is auto tap? How bad... You trust auto tap for 3 seconds and get worked over. Unbelievable. Wizards, seriously, this is bad auto tap right here. That I could have this hand and would come up with this tap for this spell is just plain bad. Fix your S, Wizards. Come on. Jesus. Tilted now. Yeah, I guess we do Druid Shields down this turn, though. No, they do not need to get rid of auto tap. They need to fix the real problems with it, Fruit Bat. Auto tap is incredible, and if they took away auto tap, you would be... Oh, maybe I shouldn't say you, because I don't know what you're doing and how you're approaching it. Actually, I'm going to leave Cloud Blazer Black back to threaten the Hawk on defense. If you have gone in and turned it off, fine. But the idea that auto tap as a concept is bad is, I think, just wrong. I think auto tap is incredible. It's just not executed perfectly in all spots. MTGO is awful because it doesn't have auto tap. MTGO is worse because it doesn't have auto tap. I'm not gonna say MTG is awful. I shouldn't say that. But MTGO not having auto tap is not any kind of defense of not having auto tap. It's more of a reason to have it. You go like, yeah. Speaking of not optimal, I hope you enjoy your 1,000 gems because that's what's going to happen here. I'm just deciding if we need to save, if we have any hope. Like, okay, what's our outs? Let's stop and think if we have any outs. If we get an angel, if we draw our angel, we can cast the angel, blink the Cloud Blazer, and get some more life. Have a all the trample just makes it impossible. I think it's basically impossible. But also, we can afford to prevent some of the damage with the Druid block. I think we're just dead, though. I can't see an out here. You'd think Revoke would help, and I guess it does. We can go Pima. But it doesn't really, because they just they basically have the Hawk to win in the air. We almost have to. We would have to revoke the Hawk, but then we have 12 points of trample. Yeah, we're just dead. Just dead. I'm going to give Oppo credit to figure that one out. All they needed to do was attack and activate the Tiger's ability. And we certainly saw where... So our big controversy of the day has been the quality of the quality of level of enchantment-based removal in this set. And really, it was a good showcasing of it, both sides, right? I think this event, we started off debating how good enchantment removal was, and throughout the course of the games, we saw it being saving our bacon and being completely ineffective, right? Frag out of the board to hit our revoke did us in, Chimero. So there you go. Like it was, right on. Good game, Frizzy. Couldn't keep up with you there. Our big debate today, Frizzy, has been about how good revoke privileges is. The range of opinion around here has been from literally bad, that is actively bad, to medium. I'm in the medium camp, and I think the results today showed exactly why. There were times where it was the most important card for us, saved 6 damage, saved 8 damage, took out their key blocker. Like, there are truly games where it was pivotal in allowing us to win the game because it acted like the removal it's trying to be. Then we had games where, we, quote, removed something until they drew one of the 17 things they had in their deck to remove our removal and re-unlock their creature. So that's the bottom line, right? The problem with it is that it is solvable. It leaves the creature on the board. If it's got some ability that doesn't care about activating, attacking or blocking, it doesn't stop that. So I think the real takeaway, though, what you can take away from the debate is that anybody who's out there thinking that revoke and the like are premium, they're not. And really the question is, how much do the knocks on the aura level removal in this set, how far does it drag them down? And it drags them down pretty far because you've got a lot of naturalize effects and a lot of blink effects and a lot of bounce effects. So the combination of those three things definitely drags the aura removal down quite far. But I do not think it personally drags it down to the bad level. I think it drags it down to the watch out, that's not doing everything you think level, and watch out, don't prioritize that stuff. There's going to be creatures that are better. There's other removal that's better. So watch out. And that's my takeaway for you there, is that don't think that Revoke is incredible. I think you got to play it. White only offers you so much removal to begin with. So play it, but always bear in mind the weaknesses of the revoke type removal and be prepared to play around those weaknesses or understand what's happening when it happens. So we'll take our 1,000. We'll salute Frizzy for the good game. Wish we could have come up with a better fight. Oh, also, it was a complete misclick in the first game, Frizzy, when I just let all that damage through. I don't know about that attack, actually. I feel like if I can go back and make those blocks in that first game, I think we could have come around and maybe come back on you. But unfortunately, I misclicked and skipped over blocks, and we didn't even get that chance. But had fun anyway. Thank you all for hanging out. Goodbye, YouTube friends. We'll catch you at the next draft.